Okay, we are live. Hello. First things first, let us know if you can hear us. Just want to check to make sure that the microphone is working. Let me see. I'm not sure if these comments are live yet or not. Let us know. Maybe we can check to make sure we're actually live. That would be good. Let's see.
He said, "You're good.
You're good? Oh, okay, perfect. Hello.
Hola."
It's not popping up on my
Checking.
thing for some reason.
Checking.
Mic check.
Check one, check two. I know.
Okay.
I was gonna say this.
Perfect. Hello. Yeah, to anyone joining us, today we are discussing Survive the Night by Riley Sager, which is the Book Troop Book Club pick for this month. And I'm so stoked to be joined by my mom and my sister. For this live show. I convinced them both to read this book this month. And yeah, so why don't you just introduce yourselves, say, your names and like what you like to read and
Go ahead, Rach.
that kind of
Take
thing.
the floor.
I'm Rachel, and I like to read, I guess now, thrillers.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I just read whatever Gabby recommends. But
I can totally. Okay, I'm mom, and I've never read really, and then all of a sudden I started getting into this, and I love thrillers.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't think I can go back.
Oh shit.
Maybe
I know,
rom-com,
same.
but
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
it really challenges me, and it's so interesting to
I
kind of.
used to read quite a bit though, like she used to read a lot of romance, like Nicholas Sparks,
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
romance and stuff like that. But
I don't
now,
consider myself. But now I'm reading a lot, and it's fun, and it gives me quality time with my girls. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
Quality time.
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, so oh my gosh, thank you so much to everybody who's joining in. It sounds like we have a lot. Do you see we have 121 people here?
Oh,
That's amazing.
hi.
So we are discussing Survive the Night. The beginning of this is going to be spoiler free for anybody that just wants to hang out for a little bit, understandable. Yes, Rachel is my sister. We are twins. No, I'm just kidding. We're not twins.
Well, we might as well be.
Yeah, we're 2 years apart. Guess who's older? Guess. I mean, everybody probably knows.
Yeah, 2 years and 9 days. I always say it was a long labor, but
Yep.
it was worth every.
Yeah. So yeah, beginning of this will be spoiler free, and then we'll jump into spoilers in a little bit here, maybe like 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So if you are here because you have read the book, maybe put a blue heart in the emoji, or a blue heart emoji in the chat. And then if you're here because you have not read it yet, maybe put a red heart just so we can see how many people are here because they have read it and how many people have not yet read it, just so I can get an idea, get the gist, get the scoop.
Wow, that's a lot of blues.
Okay, wow, bam, blues.
Bang,
I
bang.
mean, Riley Sager is a very,
Bang, bang.
well-known author. His books are very highly anticipated by the book community, so I know like most people have
The
probably
style of
read
writing
this.
is amazing. It's easy to follow.
All right, sweet. Well, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna have Rachel kind of give you a general premise of this book about what it's about, or you can do a dramatic reading of the description here, the blurb.
Hit it, Rach.
Too?
Like all of it.
Hit it, Rach.
It's November 1991. Nirvana's in the tape deck. George H.W. Bush is in the White House.
Ooh.
And movie-obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car with a man who might be a serial killer, folks. Ooh. Okay, Josh Baxter, the man behind the wheel, is a virtual stranger to Charlie. They met at the campus ride board, each looking to share the long drive home to Ohio. Both have good reasons for wanting to get away. For Charlie, it's guilt and grief over the shocking murder of her best friend, who became the third victim of the man known as the campus killer.
Ooh.
For Josh, it's to help care for his sick father, or so he says.
I know that was.
The longer she sits in the passenger seat, the more Charlie notices there's something suspicious about Josh. From the holes in his story about his father to how he doesn't even want to see her inside the trunk. Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember that.
As they travel an empty, twisty highway in the dead of the night, an increasingly anxious Charlie begins to think she's sharing a car with the campus killer. Is Josh truly dangerous?
Yeah.
Or
no.
is Charlie's jittery mistrust merely a figment of her movie-fueled imagination?
Dun dun.
One thing is
Ooh.
certain, Charlie has nowhere to run and no way to call for help. Trapped in a terrifying game of cat and mouse played out on pitch black roads and neon lit parking lots,
Of course.
Charlie knows that the only way to win is to
Survive the night. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I know the whole time I was
Wow.
reading it though, I was thinking if my daughters, oh my god. You know, hello.
Can
That
Rachel?
was crazy.
Oh wait, can Rachel please read the synopsis of every book ever?
I know. She's
Narrator
amazing.
Rachel. Narrator
You're
Rachel. out
amazing,
here.
Rach.
Oh, you're their girl crush.
We have to hype it
Aw,
up. Woohoo.
That's so cute.
Oh,
Oh
thank
my
you.
gosh. Yes,
you.
Kim is my mother.
Yep.
That is her. Dun
The
dun
beauty.
dun.
I know.
Very dramatic. So
You
yeah,
guessed it.
that
Survive
is
the night.
that is the premise. That is the premise.
Good
You know,
Good
a
book.
girl trying to get out.
So she
Trying
thinks she's
to-
trapped in a car with a serial killer.
That's it. Takes place in the 90s. Very 90s vibes for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I'm curious because I don't actually know how either of them rated this book. We've kept it a secret from each other just for this because surprises are great. And so why did I think this book had zombies?
I know.
You know,
That's what
That's
I
an
kind of thought
idea.
too. I mean, survive the night. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
The description of the dark, long road.
Yeah,
You know,
I know. I feel
uncertainty.
too that the description actually gave a lot away. I don't remember reading the blurb
Me.
I didn't read
before.
it
Yeah,
either.
I didn't read the blurb like fully. I just read the top bit. I think
Makes it a little easier to comfortable to talk. About it.
All right, so I want them to go first, but before they start with their ratings, I want to know to everyone watching, what did you rate this book? I feel like this is the most divisive book that I've seen divided out of all of the book trip picks so far. It seems like people are really either loving this book, hating this book, like somewhere in the middle. Like everyone's all over the place, and it's really wild to see. Okay, wow.
I'd
Like,
like
let's
to
see.
understand why you are with your decision
got
because
some fives, we
We
got
got-
some
We
ones.
got a 1
Three,
star,
one,
two,
please tell
four.
me
Wow, we're
why.
all over the board.
1
Yeah.
star, 2 star. See, this is what I mean. Like, some people love it, 5 stars. Some people really no. That was very interesting. Okay, well, we've got a lot of mixed bags in here. So,
Mom, what'd you
yeah.
get?
So, Mom, why don't you start? What was the rating
Well-
you gave this book, and what are your general thoughts?
4.55.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What?
5.5.
Well, I
That's
mean,
exact.
-5.
Ooh.
It was really
4.5 dash
I don't know,
5.
it kept me on my toes. It just kept on, and I think too because I have you girls, and I kept on thinking, oh my god, it's my daughters. What would I, so it brought me more intense that way. But brilliant writing. I love his style. I want to read all of his books. So
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm reading
Oh my
now.
god.
Okay.
Okay. So Rachel, what'd you give it?
2.5.
oh snap! Well, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
wanna
Do tell.
say more?
Okay, well, I feel like it has a lot to do with that I love Riley's other books, a
Mhm.
lot. So I know his, potential.
Mhm.
And so going in, I was expecting it to be, super amazing. And it was, really predictable. I didn't care about Charlie, really. Didn't really care about what Josh was doing. I was just like, whatever. At first, I thought the movie thing, where she sees movies in her head, was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
then I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I was just kind of bored.
Yeah, I can see that. I
I think that played a few times, though. Kind of the way it played out was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Especially. I'm so afraid of giving spoilers. I mean,
Yeah, we're still in the spoiler-free zone.
I know,
So,
it's just like-
cool.
Well, yeah, and that's what's hard too is that once I do under spoilers, you'll definitely understand why.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I feel like for the most part, just as a whole, I think it's probably honestly because I'm comparing it to his other books. But even just taking it
Mhm.
away and just saying it as a single book, I still feel like just the character wasn't It's just
Mhm.
stupid and
Yeah.
not interesting and like.
Well, duh. You know, I mean,
I
think
know, but
that's-
like I feel like his other characters in his other books, they're not dumb. It's just
Mhm.
shit happens, you know.
yeah.
But like this, like what the
No,
what?
it's like
No.
get out. Why you even? Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
I mean, I see your point too.
It's like she only had to be dumb to have a story,
Yeah.
and that's what's annoying to me.
I know. Yeah, for this plot to work, she had to be,
Like otherwise,
poor at making
nothing would
decisions.
make sense. Like point blank, and
Agreed.
yeah, like it's just
being in her head was exhausting.
Yeah.
Very much agree.
It was. I don't know. For me, I there was a couple times where the twists didn't surprise me, and I'm always trying to, forecast things and jump ahead. And some of the times I was right, most of the times I was wrong. But
yeah,
think
I
that's
did
the fun
listen to it on
I say,
audio.
did you predict any of the end, Gabby?
Yeah, so I gave it 3 stars. But like every time I reflect more on it, I'm like wanting to lower my rating.
oh wow,
But like,
I know. I'm
but yeah,
starting to feel that way too.
I mean, it's totally fine if you loved it. Like, there's, and I kind of like that we all have like slightly different
see
opinions
why.
on it.
I mean, it's a good fast read. I never wanted to like put it down necessarily.
Yeah.
And I wanted to finish it. Like I wanted to see what happened and everything. But I guess as the story as a whole, like I just like
Mhm.
like because Riley Sager's other books I would read again.
Mm-hmm.
But this one,
So I guess I need to read his other books too.
Yes, exactly, Justin.
Mhm.
Final twist is a bit of a cop out, so nothing really
Yeah,
matters. Facts.
exactly.
That's facts right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess the reason why I gave it 3 stars is because I enjoyed, like, okay, I really liked the first like 100 pages of this book or so. I thought the first 100 pages were so strong in atmosphere, and it was just like really like not like spooky, but you were almost like concerned, like you were concerned for Charlie, being like, oh my god, like she's in this really intense situation and she needs to get out of here. But then yeah, as like some other people were saying, like being in her head for so long was exhausting, and I just disagreed with so many of her decisions, and I got so frustrated with her, and it just slowly got to the point where I was just really annoyed and just like wanted this book to end. But then I did like the last it's hard to describe this book because there was one twist that I didn't see coming, but I hated it. Like I hated the plot twist. And then there was another twist that I did see coming, and it didn't make any sense, and it was stupid. So I was just like, I didn't really like the way it ended. And then but it's hard because I really did like the last little chapter that was in italics. Really liked that chapter. So I mean, it's like,
I hated them.
that's why I feel so middle of the road about this book. It's just like, I don't know. But
Interesting.
Yeah, I like the beginning. The middle was, like you're saying, exhausting
mhm,
on a lot of levels because you're like, why?
mhm.
And then at the end also, it kind of accelerated. So,
Mhm.
and in between it was.
So exhausting. It deserves 4.5 stars.
Well, I'm going by what you guys are saying. I didn't realize I was exhausted until I was listening to it, because I'm not that good of a reader yet. So
I would say, yeah,
it's findings.
it's kind of similar to this book, but No Exit is like way better. But it kind of does have a similar vibe as like, you're stuck with the killer kind of vibe. Like it has that vibe for sure.
Yeah,
But
I think that's the part I like.
But yeah, to
Even
anybody
though
that was
it was
wondering
like,
too, 'cause some people were asking, I've read all of Riley Sager's books. You've read
Home Before Dark and Lock Every Door.
Yeah, so she's read those two, and then Mom has read you've read Lock Every Door,
Lock Every Door,
and then she's currently reading Home Before
Yeah.
Dark, I think. So I mean,
Yeah.
So as far
Definitely.
as like without giving any spoilers or anything, how does this book compare to his other books for you so far? Where does it rank?
This book?
Yeah.
3rd.
I mean, like, okay, then which one's your favorite? I guess.
Probably Home Before Dark, just because it was the first one I did really read. But I love that it's like paranormal.
Mm-hmm. Major Haunting of Hill House vibes.
So good.
So how do you rate
Those are both 5 stars.
Lock Every Door?
Those are both 5 stars.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They're so good.
I did.
Lock Every Door has so many twists and turns.
Yeah, I can't wait to.
So does Home Before Dark. Really, at the end, it's
Yeah.
like bang, 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 bang.
So what did you give Lock Every Door? Did you also give that like a 4 or 5? Or?
That was intense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really liked it. Like I said, I'm becoming new at this, reading these books. So, I mean, I'm really intrigued. It's got me really thinking. The other books that I've read prior, it was like it was romance, rom-com thing. And so they didn't have that same level of intensity that these do. And so, I think once I have more to compare, then,
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of flows that way, I think.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It seems like people all have different favorites, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. He's amazing. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that everyone can agree on with Riley Sager's books is that he definitely has like plot twists on top of plot twists. That's usually like a common theme with his books, is that like you'll think it's going one way and then there'll be like a double twist or something at the end where it's like really like something crazy.
Mhm.
And then he almost always has female protagonists, and they almost always are, I don't know, like, I mean, some people don't like the way that he writes his female protagonists, but I've never really had an issue with it until this book.
Yeah, that was like a big issue with it.
Yeah, because like this girl was so unbelievable to me. I was like, no girl would ever.
I know,
Yeah.
code word.
it's
Code
called
word.
red flag, red flag, red flag. What the heck?
Yeah, it's so suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, that's true. I can usually guess the killer, but not the motive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one, no spoiler, but
okay. So, do we want to jump into spoilers?
I think so, because I can't keep my mouth shut.
I know.
I don't know where
I'm concerned that my mom's gonna say
I
something.
know,
and
and
spoil
that's
something.
why I'm not saying very much, because I'm afraid I don't want to,
Same.
because this book is about spoilers. I mean, you have to.
I know that's
Doesn't really
that's
make
what I
sense.
think about this book, is that he was writing it too quickly and didn't think that all the way through, because he was probably like,
He
how
thought
do
it
we
sounded
get...
cooler in his head.
Yeah, I guess.
See, that's an experienced, reader to think those. I'm not very yet.
Yeah, which of these books should I start with? I mean, I would say
In order?
I mean, yeah, either publication order, or I would say Lock Every Door is my personal favorite, so that's where I would start.
I'm glad I started with that.
Yeah, I had my mom start with that one.
Yeah.
But it's also like, do you want to start with the best? Because then
I know. That's
then
the
everything
thing.
else.
You don't want to.
I mean,
what I'm saying. And they're asking. It's a really good question.
Okay,
Since
yeah,
you've read them all.
let's just jump into spoilers. It seems like
Please.
that's the way to go. Okay, so we are going to jump into spoilers now. I think I'm going to put a banner. Like, should we have this spoiler
Have it flash
warning? Yeah. So this spoiler warning will be on the screen while we discuss spoilers, so everybody knows that we're talking about spoilers.
Cut loose.
So yeah, so let's just jump right into spoilers then. What is the first thing? I don't even know.
You start
okay,
this.
well, first.
Okay, well, let's first just start out with why the fuck would she go in a car with the man who she doesn't know who the campus killer is?
Yes, okay, yeah. First red flag, I put, if her roommate was murdered and she knew there was a killer on the loose, then why would she get a ride from some stranger who is instantly giving her red flags?
I know.
This does not make any sense.
Any fucking sense.
Like, take a bus.
Yeah, and she
What?
didn't go deeper into
Dude,
her red
I
flags.
wouldn't do this. Even if my best friend wasn't murdered and there was a murder
know,
on the loose, I would
right.
never do this to
Right.
begin with.
Period.
Like,
Yeah.
travel. First of all, travel with a woman. Like,
But there was
Jesus I don't-
other girls,
no
and so
red flag right there. Insane to me. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Already right there, I'm like, Charlie's dumb.
Yeah, there's no way I'm getting in the car with a stranger. Yeah. Why didn't she have her ex-boyfriend drive her home?
right?
Like, all of that, okay? All of it.
Well, good thing.
She apparently needed to leave and couldn't wait until the weekend. I know, like, why not?
I just
Okay, yeah, same. Okay, so can we discuss the killer reveal, right? I knew it was the boyfriend as soon as he was introduced in this book, because in a thriller like this, you only have so many characters, right? So I'm like, okay, it can only be one of these three people. So I was like, okay, it's probably Robbie, because like that would be, like it's right in front of her the whole time, like it's the boyfriend. So like I immediately thought it would be him, and so
good.
when it got revealed that it was Robbie, I was like, okay, like why? And then his reason, oh my god, like what the
that
fuck was
hard
that?
to read.
What the fuck was that? He's just like, oh, I just like hate women or whatever. Like his thing, like,
he was
what?
going into
He was
such
like, she's
detail.
just like annoying.
I know, like, excuse
And
me,
it would have
what?
been her, but
Yeah, exactly, and it's always the boyfriend. Like, it's always the boyfriend. Like, that's the first person you
I'm gonna have to
suspect.
say I'm clueless because I didn't get that till page 283. And
yeah, Ted Bundy vibes.
Yeah, right. And it was like, wow, I thought I was so good, but then you knew it right away. So.
I mean, yeah, I do want to like, yeah. Okay, this main character was suffering some trauma, and she was on medication for certain things. But I feel like this is another conversation of how authors will like use mental illnesses as a plot device or something like that, and how that can also be seen as like,
She was traumatized.
Yeah,
with the
but
death
still,
of her.
even with like her making bad decisions and stuff like that, that even like my annoyance with her as a character had nothing to do with how dumb that plot twist was.
Yeah,
like I really did not like that plot twist.
100%.
I'm really not a good week.
I'm not gonna lie to you that I didn't even think it was Robbie the whole time, but when it was revealed, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I
because
mean.
I was like,
It's
who
like,
cares? Like, whatever.
When they were really I don't remember exactly what gave me that thought, but it ruled out, it ruled him in. I mean, that was the only person that could be.
Yeah, I was like, well, obviously it can't
Josh.
be Josh, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Josh, that finally for me was the point where when that happened, it was like, okay,
yeah,
wait,
I mean, Gabby,
who else is there? Like you're saying, it's a
I think
process
we
of
were talking
elimination.
about how, how like Josh says in the 20 questions or whatever to her, he like his thing about finding is a tooth, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, only the police knew that.
Yeah.
How did he know that
that
then?
I know.
That's
like,
exactly where I put in the book. I went, that's weird, because way back in the early part, it said that nobody knew that.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless
So when he
like
said that,
Marge
oh my God.
told her him or something.
And so
but
when the teeth fell out,
I thought that was so lame.
really, I was like,
she
oh
went
my
in her
God.
boyfriend's car and then the teeth show up.
oh, I know. Like,
Oh,
why
she
wouldn't
went
he
to go
hide
in the
that
trunk
shit
for something?
He just hides it in his car.
I don't know. I'm so lame.
Isn't
I
it
mean,
because
I
he like
really
wanted
just
her to find
realized.
out?
I don't know. I just thought that was
Yeah,
so
see,
But I
Marge
like-
told him. Marge must have told him
Oh.
about the tooth.
I just think that, but it
Well, the
didn't
thing
seem
about
to
Marge,
Josh.
too,
It
Marge
didn't
was-
seem that Josh like had much interest. It didn't seem like he wanted to know anything. He just was getting paid to move her, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't seem like he knew much about what was going on.
But how she I don't know. It just seemed like there were so many probabilities that it could be him, but still, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And then Marge. Like, what on God's green earth?
Right?
Oh, another thing that was annoying was when she was like in the middle of the road and she went to that girl asking for help, and that girl said no.
Oh, I know.
What
Yeah.
girl wouldn't help her? Like, oh, I'll just call 911 for you or something. Like,
Yeah, because she
like
was at
you don't
the-
have to like take this girl in your car if you think she's like not safe or whatever. But you should help her, like call somebody for her or something. Like, I just feel like girl code, like no fucking way would a girl ever just leave this girl like stranded with some man.
Right.
I'm sorry, like that's not realistic in any way. Like that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Especially when she knew she was in distress.
I mean, I know it's like for a plot of the character. Like obviously, I think that he just did that because it's a character or whatever, But
Like,
still,
yeah, to be fair, the girl thought Charlie was on drugs.
I know.
But even if
But that's what I'm saying. Even if you didn't think she's deemed safe, if she's asking you for help, I feel like
I know, and
that's
she
your
doesn't-
responsibility to.
and she
to
doesn't
help.
feel like she's safe.
It doesn't matter. People, even if people are on drugs, they still deserve help.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
stupid.
That's what I mean.
Like,
Yeah.
Call
And like,
911.
yeah, if she's saying she feels unsafe with this person that she's with, she still deserves help, whether she's like
or like, what
on
if
drugs
this
or not.
dude's drugging her? Like, she's asking you for help.
Yeah.
You help her. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, that was kind of sad to see that.
Oh god.
Take your phone.
Tank
Take.
is making an appearance.
Hey, Tank, your little Tank.
I'm agreeing with everything Rachel's saying. Does she have a booktube channel?
I know.
No, but she does have a YouTube channel that's linked down below. She has.
Ow.
Tank is putting paws into my back. Oh.
Watch out.
Oh.
Oh my
Buddy,
god.
you okay?
Okay.
Jesus
Yeah, no,
Christ.
it's
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I think it would have been so strong if Charlie was the killer somehow.
Oh.
Like,
Wow.
that would have been a good
Oh,
twist.
that would have been a plot twist.
really good.
Mhm.
That is,
Like, what
yeah.
if she blacked out when she was leaving?
See,
Oh,
that's
another
the
thing.
thing, yeah.
Why would she leave Maddie?
Oh, like
What?
at the beginning?
I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't leave your friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
and a lot of it, I thought she was hallucinating, like she's, you know, uh, psychotic or something, and she was not taking her pills, right?
I know, I don't know.
And so that
I thought she had
really
a movie,
manifested a lot of this.
a movie moment and killed her friend. That would have made sense
Mhm.
why she like couldn't remember the face of the killer or something because
And I thought maybe,
And the guilt. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
I thought that this was all like a nightmare or something too. There's
I
a lot
know.
of different things.
Oh, we need to go. Like, and when she leave, how did she not recognize her boyfriend? Because she saw the killer. Remember, she said she saw the face, or like the killer had like a hood on or something,
Yeah.
and she was like, I didn't recognize like the face though, whatever. Like, dude, it was your boyfriend. What? And you didn't recognize him? Like, how do you not recognize?
Does he
him?
have a fedora hat
and-
though? Did he have a fedora
He
hat?
had like a hoodie, I thought, or like something
Well,
covering his
wasn't
face.
it
Another
kind of.
thing too, like it would have made more sense for Marge to like want to fucking kill this bitch. It doesn't make any sense for me for Marge to like, I'm gonna like pull your fucking tooth out. I'm gonna like kill you so you remember. Like
I know,
what?
that's
She's
the
not
thing.
gonna remember.
That's the thing with Marge is like, why would she go
There's
about
no
it this
motive.
way?
There's
Because,
literally no motive. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
like she's not gonna like you can't force someone to like remember something like this, you know?
yeah.
Did any of you like gross out in that pool scene? That was gross.
What was the full scene?
Where she was knocked into the pool, and it was all slimy and
Oh yeah.
that kind of stuff. That was crazy.
Okay, yeah, the whole thing with Marge was so stupid. It's so lame, and that was the plot twist that I didn't see it coming, but I thought it was so dumb because I was like, why? Yeah,
Especially
like
it ended so fast.
Yeah, and then
To me.
it was like,
All that
oh,
drama.
like I'm
and
gonna
then it
help
just-
you, honey. I checked the code, make sure it's all good, honey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn this bitch for you, honey.
Now,
And
you
then
guys are making me think.
And then
rethink
all of
my
a sudden,
stars.
she's like, "Yeah, honey, I'm gonna take you so you remember." Like, what,
mhm.
dude? It was
Yeah.
so weird.
I wish we talked more about this.
Mom's like 5 stars.
Yeah, I know. I was like, woo, it's so good.
I
But
mean,
wait a
it's
second.
like,
I need to really calm down on my stars.
Okay, see, does it change any of your opinions knowing the twist epilogue and this was the movie version? Because basically, what we find out,
yeah, but that
with the
doesn't
final
make it
plot
like
twist.
any better.
I know,
That
but
doesn't make my enjoyment better.
like, so we find out at the very, very end of the book that this entire book that we were reading was the Hollywood version of this story, right? So like, this wasn't the actual true way all of this happened, but we only get little like bits and pieces at the very end of how it actually played out. So like, this book might be over dramatic and overly insane because it's
you even know that, Mom?
the Hollywood
Nope.
version of the movie.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying-
think Mom knew that.
Because that's
No.
what the last chapter in
I was
italics.
wondering. I was gonna
she's
ask
like-
you about that because
She's like fade
so-
out screening room. Like she's like saying how
That's
the
right.
story
Yeah,
was made
yeah.
into a movie, and like we've been watching the movie this whole time. And so then at the end, it's like revealed like, oh, this isn't the story of that night, not the true one. And they like glamorize some of the story because it was a Hollywood movie.
Right.
She's like, this didn't actually happen. Like the fire, which didn't actually happen. Whatever. She's like, Marge died at the Mountain Oasis Lodge because remember in the movie version at the end of the book, she like takes her the tooth in the hospital and she
Right.
like gets justice
Right.
for her. She's like, no, Marge actually died at the pool. Like that was what actually
Oh.
happened. There was no hospital room conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like movie magic. So it's like, okay.
Well, I thought that she was making a movie by reading that. It became a movie. Her life.
no,
of what
like
happened
this
in
whole
that.
book we've been reading has been the movie. And
It
now
was so bad.
And now
I'm
this
so
ending
mad.
reveals like, okay, so that's why it's kind of like some people are saying it makes sense why all of these things are like lame
I mean,
and
you guys
dramatic
like
and
that, but
whatever.
I think that's so lame.
Well, no, okay, I think it's cool that
No.
this whole thing has been a movie because it makes it make more sense because that third act of this book is so over the top and dramatic, but it makes sense if it's supposed to be like a movie,
No.
you know? I don't know.
I just thought it was so lame. Like she marries Josh,
I know.
and then her story becomes a movie. How?
Yeah.
How?
That is pretty.
It's not the story isn't based on a movie, but it's revealed at the end of the book that this entire book that we just read was Charlie's movie called Survive the Night. And like you've been watching the movie in the theater with her the whole
No,
book.
you've
It
been
actually makes sense.
reading. You've been reading the movie.
No, it actually makes sense because if you look in the very first line of this book, It says fade in, parking lot, the middle of the night. It's beginning at the end.
Yes.
It's like a great noir film. So she's describing the film like she's sitting in a movie theater. She knows, because this isn't a movie. It's the here and now. She's the girl in the car. The man behind the wheel is a killer. So she's describing the intro to the movie, and it's her in the car. So then it starts at 9 p.m. and then it's like her story, but it's the movie that she's seeing of her life.
And once again, there's a something I didn't really.
I still think
How does he marry her after getting stabbed?
Right?
Yeah, like what?
I still think it's lame, even with the
That they found love through that whole
epilogue or
thing.
whatever.
Those 20 questions really.
Why did she marry Josh? That was just like unnecessary. Yeah, that's interesting. I
Dang.
felt kind of cheated after that. I liked the ending, but at the same time, I felt it was the dream thing. How authors end books by characters waking up at the end.
Right,
I
that's
could
what
see
I was
that.
seeing
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's so lame. Like,
Yeah.
dang, oh my God.
It's okay. He's fine.
It's
Yeah. It made the whole book not matter then, right? I think that's what Justin was saying earlier. How like the twist makes the book not matter because it's not the true story, right? Like,
Just
Where are you thinking this?
I don't know, uneventful. It was so like over the top, and just because it's a movie, like I don't even like movies like that. So like I was like, okay.
I know I would never marry someone who essentially kidnapped me. Like I know she got in the car with him on her own, but still, how do you rationalize that? Exactly.
I know,
Like,
he was,
And
Yeah,
he was
he was
hired.
moved,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was hired to go and kidnap you and
Yeah,
take
that
you,
was
and he
strange.
did that. And then you're gonna marry him?
Yeah. Did you know that? Did you guys figure that out?
What?
that she married him.
No, that he was hired before. I guess
No,
not.
no,
March.
No, but I knew he wasn't the killer because I was like, there's just no way. It's that obvious.
But
Yeah,
I like
that's
that
boring.
one part that I like is where she wrote "help"
Mm-hmm.
on the window. I'm like, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it
then
was
also,
intense,
like,
though.
Why is she so? Oh my god, this main character drove me nuts because like I wrote in my notes, like
She's
okay,
got
so
nuts.
Robbie called the local police right after she calls Robbie. She like gives him some like codes over the phone. She's like,
Oh.
we took a detour.
Yeah,
Or whatever
detour.
her code is, and then Robbie's like, oh shit, she's in trouble, right? So like he calls the police, and the police are like, that doesn't sound like a problem.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, we're not gonna.
I'm not gonna.
That's
fucking-
not a
That's a waste
thing.
of time. Whatever, and it's like,
Please wouldn't do that.
I mean, I don't know, because this is the 90s, so like, I don't know. Maybe things were a little bit different back then. I don't know. But I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like, why are the police just like brushing this off like it's not a big deal? Like she's with a man that she doesn't know really
Yeah.
or trust. Like this is, like huge red flag. And so then I also put weird how we get random point of views in third person. Like we would randomly get like Josh's point of view sometimes and then Marge's point of view, and it was just like I didn't see the point of that at all. But then okay, yeah, so Marge offers to help. Like, remember, she takes her into the bathroom because she like spills
Yeah.
something on her, right?
Yeah.
And she goes to the
wanted
bathroom.
to
And she's like,
confirm the code.
yeah,
It
she's
was
like, do you
Maddie.
need help? And she's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm good.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Charlie.
I know, like, okay, if Charlie didn't know that Marge was involved at that point, why would she not ask for help? Like,
I know.
what?
I know. I was thinking that too.
And
I
then
mean,
too, yeah, and then she does it again. The cop comes into the diner and asks if
know.
she's okay, and she's like, "Yep, we're good," because she decides at that point that she's gonna take on Josh on her own.
Oh, and she's like,
That
have
was-
to do it.
I know, like,
I have to do it for Maddie, right?
Like,
That
why?
was her reason.
Why?
I know. Gosh, I'm not a good judge of books.
I mean,
Ooh,
Mom,
I
if you
thought
loved
that.
it, you loved it.
I
It's fine.
did, but now I'm seeing that I
I know, like suddenly,
was kind of not.
suddenly, Charlie turns into fucking Scarlet Witch and thinks that she can just take a vengeance for Maddie, and it's
I know.
her job now to fucking knock this bitch out and get like redemption. Like, it is not
know.
your job. Like, give it to the cops or let authorities know. Like, you're only putting more people in danger, and it's just stupid.
Yeah, like, she had so many opportunities to get away
Yeah,
from him.
she did.
This is so interesting. I didn't even consider that. The change in point of view really doesn't make enough sense for the narration of the movie. That would be a strange cutscene. That's so true. If this whole movie is from like Charlie's perspective, why would we get these like random ass point of views?
Yeah.
That is so
Oh.
true.
You guys are smart.
I know. I hated the hero complex she had of having to be the one to solve
Yeah,
the case.
what
yeah,
was
like
that?
why? Okay, this is true. Like they were saying, she didn't say anything when the cops came in because Josh had a knife on Marge. Like, okay, I get wanting to protect Marge, but also,
I don't
I
care.
mean, come
I
on.
mean, you know.
Okay, can I say like the handcuff scene?
What handcuff scene?
at the very end.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
I knew that she had taken the handcuffs, and how it revealed itself was the timing was so good. I mean, I kind of, I don't know, didn't really think that actually could happen the way it did, but when she pulled him out and I was like, finally.
Is that when she like stabbed Josh? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, she did this to
underwater
Robbie.
in the car. That's
yeah,
right.
Underwater.
Yeah, she like
that was
handcuffed
real
him to the
intense
car.
for me. I was like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
So that part was obviously the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
They even said that she's like, that didn't happen, right? She said that at the end. That didn't even happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the best part.
Well, and I liked
I mean,
the
that was
end
good
when
part.
she brought Robbie's tooth to her in the hospital. I thought that was like a good tie, like full circle. But again, that didn't actually happen. I was like, the movie or whatever.
I know, it's weird.
I know. Okay. Also, that I felt like Marge getting Josh out was unbelievable, right? Because people were saying, Marge, like there was a scene where she had to move Josh's body or something.
No.
Like this old woman that's dying. Like she said, right? She's like dying of cancer or something.
Yeah.
Like she's
on her
frail
deathbed.
and dying, and you expect me to believe she can move this grown ass man? Like that is such a flaw.
And didn't she pick up Charlie all the way from the car to the when she was unconscious?
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Oh yeah, true. Charlie says at the end the police were called because someone saw the fire, but then we find out the fire wasn't real. Mm-hmm.
The fire I thought was pretty intense.
Yes.
Part of it.
I know. Can we discuss whether the rating of the book would have gone up if it was revealed that Charlie was the killer? She's already an unreliable narrator.
Because that would have been a twist. That
I feel like the reason he didn't probably do this is because it would probably look really bad on him if he had a main character who blacks out because of her mental illness and then she goes and kills. You know, it would be a bad look on, you know, like, or it would be bad representation of people that have mental illnesses. I feel like that's probably why he didn't go that route, because it's like saying like every person that has a mental illness is like a killer, you know, like I don't think he wanted to go in that direction. But it's also like having a main character with a mental illness and then using it as a plot device like this is always going to be kind of like,
isn't that the way movies are done? In, you know, I mean,
I do think that would have been a huge reveal though. Like I wouldn't have seen that coming.
I mean, it would have been a good twist, but I feel like people would have been really upset about it, you know.
People are gonna get upset with literally everything, but I do feel like that. I feel like that would have been a better plot twist than Robbie.
Yeah. I mean, Robbie's the killer just didn't make any sense. I think that's why I was so upset about it.
Mm-hmm. His whole.
Oh yeah, I would have liked it more if she was the killer, and then at the end, instead of marrying Josh, she killed him.
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. So we're coming up here on 38 minutes. I was gonna ask, if you had to like compare this book to any other movie or TV show or even another book, like what does this remind you of anything? If you had to,
me.
Yeah, either of you
gosh.
or anybody watching.
Well, first of all, I don't usually watch scary movies. So.
Yeah, Mom is unfamiliar.
I'm usually like, no. Not that this would. I think it would have been, you know,
because I do think this would make a decent movie. Like,
I think it
would be like a very, I don't know, like not like a good movie, but I think it would be like a fun movie. You know, not like an Oscar-winning movie, but like a good, fun, cheesy,
like
blockbustery, like kind of movie,
over
like
the top.
Yeah.
Is his books coming a movie? Any of his books?
I don't know, honestly. Oh yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Halloween movie main character. Yeah, the way she's like, I'm gonna do it myself. Yeah, that was very Halloween vibes. Okay. Yeah, we did mention earlier it's kind of like No Exit. I thought this book was so much like Things Have Gotten.
Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
That's rated G.
Yes, exactly. It reminded me of I'm Thinking of Ending Things because of the car. Yeah, exactly. Same. And because of those plot twists, like I'm not gonna spoil I'm Thinking of Ending Things, but it was very similar to I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
So was it good?
I liked the movie I'm Thinking of Ending. Well, I have mixed feelings about it, but I mean for the most part. I don't know. Are any of his books getting adapted? I feel like I knew this at one point and I don't remember. yeah, I feel like this would be a good like PG-13 horror thriller
Starring
movie.
Chloe Grace Moretz. I know.
I know,
does
as
that
the
give me
lead.
her vibes?
Yes.
That's so funny.
Wow. That is funny. So yeah, anyways, while we wrap this up, like if anybody has any like final thoughts or anything else they would like us to talk about specifically about this book, then let us know, because we're probably going to be wrapping this up. And why don't you talk about what are you currently reading, either of you?
I just finished The Honeymooners,
Yes.
Oh, what'd you think?
but I mean I liked it obviously, but I like thrillers better. I don't know what I was expecting.
I know.
I was
I
expecting
that's
I was
what I'm
like, what's gonna happen?
Right?
It was like food poisoning turns them into monsters. Just kidding. No,
Oh shit, that would be cool.
I'm just kidding, obviously. But still, like I feel like is it just
I thought
like
it was
I'm not
cute.
spoiling the Honeymooners, but I feel like this is literally every romance across the board. They always end
Love
the
to
same
hate.
way.
Yeah.
They always end the
Hate to
same
love.
fucking way. It's
Yeah.
like I'm so bored. I mean, it's like when
think
you read romance, you really just have to like the characters, right? Because
Mhm.
And where's the? I mean, twists aren't.
yeah,
all
there's
that.
no real plot. I mean, yeah, there was some juicy drama with her sister in the book or whatever, right? But like,
But it was short lived.
yeah,
Mhm.
You know,
it's like
it was cute. But like I said, after reading thrillers now, I really am intrigued.
Mhm. What are you currently reading?
Home Before Dark.
Yeah, she's reading.
And actually, because I'm such a
the
bad,
best.
since I'm such a bad, obviously by today's video,
Mom, you're
me-
not. Jeez.
No, but it's like
You can
no,
like what you like.
no, but I'm saying my memory. Okay, I couldn't start really getting into that book because I would have like
Yeah, didn't want to mix them up.
I didn't want to mix them up because it's already hard enough for me. With anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm looking
how
forward
are
to
you
that.
liking Home Before Dark, Kim?
I am loving it. Actually, to be honest, I was thinking of Haunted Mansion from Disneyland as the premise.
So
Oh
good.
yeah.
Right?
It's so good.
So, but I
Amazing.
feel the build up. I'm starting to get to the point where I know it's going to start getting into some heavy stuff, and I think that's part of the
so
fun.
good.
I think that's part of the
I
fun
know.
because you're just like intrigued.
I love too in that book how he goes from like the book to real life, and then the book to real
Mhm.
life, and like
Mhm.
it's so good and like fascinating to
Right.
read because there's so much going on. It's not just like the same sterile storyline
right.
that I felt like Surviving the Night struggled with.
Yeah.
Yes, see, Mom, we love you, Kim, and your perspective is refreshing and offers a different point of view.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Oh, you're so
Yeah, I like that
sweet.
we all have different opinions on it because then we all bring something different to the table.
I started out with a 5, and now I'm questioning how.
It's okay. I always see the worst
Where?
in things.
No, but I wish I talked to you girls about before. But I guess that's part of the fun reveal.
Mhm.
You know, I'm learning, and I'm telling you, it's really exciting.
Ooh, yes, I plan to read this book in August. Woody Harrelson and Denzel Washington. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I already think that's amazing. But
Well,
yeah,
that's good. Those comments will be on there.
wait, can we talk about how Charlie decides not to have these movies in her mind as if mental illness just goes away like that? There's something that's something I hated about the book. Yes, what was that about? Like she was like, it's like all of a sudden she became aware of like the movies that were in her head for like no apparent reason. That's what I mean. Like the mental illness representation in this book is just not it. It's not great.
I think it was mostly because she stopped taking her meds.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
that's what I mean. But just because someone stops taking your, or like, just because someone stops or starts taking their medication
Well,
doesn't
wouldn't-
mean it's just gonna magically go
Wouldn't-
away. Or,
when you're on your medication, you wouldn't have them, and then when you're not taking your medication, she would have the movies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's
You
why
would
she was
think.
having them, because that's what the meds are for. So you don't go there because she was having them.
Also, is that like a real thing?
what?
Do people like see movies in their head?
Well, it's like
Well, it's like a
hallucinations.
schizophrenia. Yeah.
Well, I get
there.
that, but the way she was describing, like it was a real.
I think
like,
she's
movie.
just goes into her like it's her. I don't say. It's her way of not dealing with things.
Yeah.
So she just goes back, and that's her.
Yeah, exactly. Even
defense
meds don't
mechanism.
cure you.
No.
Yeah.
I know. Maybe maybe
They
it's
just,
a
like,
side
slow it
effect
down.
of her medication.
They just
I know. I think
Depending
did they
on what it
explain
is.
why she stopped taking her meds in the first place? I think
It said in the very beginning about the orange pill, and then
I thought it was because of her like trauma from losing her best friend. Wasn't
and
it
her
something
parents.
her parents?
I
were
know that was so
parents.
random.
You know,
Why did she talk about
And
like
see,
the
that's
way
the
her
thing,
parents
too, with
died
the-
in a car if it had nothing to do with the
what I
story?
kept on going with is I thought for Josh, looking for people that were not going to be missed. Young girls, no family, that kind of stuff. And so, when he chose her or whatever, and that was weird how they left in the middle of the night. What was he waiting for? Why was he? It just gave you more reason to be successful.
I know. I think they were just described as movies because of what she was going to school for. I think it was like to emphasize that she was like really into movies, which I did like, by the way. I liked having a main character that was movie obsessed because it made her more relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw some people talking about this in the comments, and like, I don't really know too much about that situation, honestly, because I'm not on Twitter very much, but I heard vaguely about this, and I mean, that's obviously not cool if he's like shading other authors.
Aw.
But I don't know.
No,
much
you gotta
about
stick
it.
together, people.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I know, and Final Girls is not an original idea, so I don't know why. I don't know, but oh yeah, that's why she didn't drive because her parents died in a car accident.
And then she did at the end,
That's true.
which they,
Which was her full circle like
yeah,
moment.
yeah. And she didn't do she floored it
Mhm.
because Dad said, always go slow or whatever, and she wanted to stand out and get noticed there. So
Yeah, that's interesting. I would honestly be curious to see if Riley Sager wrote a male character, how the book would be different. Because I don't know, like I can't even picture him writing a male protagonist at this point.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, I do agree. It's hard to make a completely original idea at this point because like everything's been done, for the most part. So like, yeah, paranormal would be interesting next from Riley Sager. I mean, I will ask, after reading this book, do you think you'll read Riley Sager's next book, like whatever he comes out with next?
of course,
Like you'll still read it?
of course. I mean, this one.
Yeah, one fluke doesn't determine that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look at M.
Same.
Night Shyamalan.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, look at him.
That doesn't deter from his greatness.
right.
I haven't seen Old yet.
Same. All right. Well, I think that's a
That was
wrap on Survive the
good.
Night.
was
Next
good.
month, to anybody that was asking, next month we will be reading The Taking of Jake Livingston. And this one is a like young adult horror thriller kind of novel. It sounds like it's going to be really awesome. And my friend Mayana is going to be joining me for the live show for this book, which I'm really excited about. This one's actually a lot shorter than
Yeah,
I was
it was-
expecting it to
yeah.
be.
Like small chapters.
But yeah, it's about this teenage boy who can like see ghosts, and it just sounds like it's going to be a really interesting time. So, yeah, this one just came out, I think, at the very end of July, or like pretty recent. So, so yeah, this is the August pick.
I
Like,
know.
what month is it?
I know. Tomorrow's gonna be August.
Yeah. Okay.
What the
Yeah.
heck?
So
Ah.
yeah, so the live show for this will probably be at the end of August ish. And then I did announce on the Instagram that 56 Days is going to be the pick for September, which
You all
I'm so
chose.
excited about. Yeah, this book was voted on
Vote.
and selected by everyone everybody who follows me on the Book Troop Instagram. I posted a story that had like a fucking, what's it called, like a little thing that you could click and vote. And yeah, this book won by a landslide. Oh my goodness. And so yeah,
COVID.
yeah, this one involves COVID, so that's why I'm kind of like, I understand if you want to skip on this month because not everybody wants to read about COVID right now. But
Too soon.
yeah, but this book deals with the early days of quarantine and COVID times, and it just sounds totally wild.
I don't think they're the first one. I think there's going to be so many.
Yeah, I know.
Especially all that time alone to be able to sit there and be creative.
Yeah.
Thinking all these new.
But I'm excited to have something a little bit different because we haven't really had like a horror book really as a pick yet. I mean, this one's kind of like thriller and horror, I think, but it sounds like it's going to be more of a horror. So, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I am too.
So yeah.
Am I going to get real scared? It's horror. Okay, so being a newbie, what's the difference between, thriller and
Thriller's
horror?
like fast paced, kind of scary moments, and I feel like horror is more like blood, gore, death.
So I can't close my eyes or anything.
Okay, like
because
a
I'm
thriller.
actually-
Well, if it's a thriller and mystery, right? It's usually like you're trying to figure out. There's usually like either a missing person or like somebody was murdered, and you're trying to figure out why. Or like, you know, that's usually the case with a thriller, or it's just like action packed and intense, like edge of your seat.
Mhm.
And then a horror novel is more like it's meant to like scare you or like make you think, and it's meant to like yeah, there's usually like descriptions of like gore or
So
like
Home After
imagery.
Dark is that
imagery. It has like well, that's what I mean.
Premise
It
on horror.
has horror vibes in Home Before Dark, but it's not like too much horror.
because there's a point now where I'm starting to think I don't want to read it at night.
It does
Yeah.
get kind of scary.
Yeah,
Before
some
Dark
of
is
the
pretty
little parts in the beginning as I'm just getting started, I went, "Ooh, that's really creepy," you know. So, but like I said, these are
So
interesting.
I do know the book picks I'm gonna have for the rest of the year, but I'm gonna be announcing them in a video coming up pretty soon here. I have all of the books selected for the rest of the year and the co-host for the rest of the year. So I'm very excited about that.
It's not me.
I mean, you're always welcome. Okay, this is important too, because I know some people are saying it's just a fictional book, not an encyclopedia on how mental health or illness works. But I do think it's important to have, you know, good representation of these mental illnesses in books. Like, I think you can have both. And like, no, not every book needs to be like 100% accurate. But I still think
why
it's
a story.
I do think that's a bigger discussion. But I do think like fictional books, like they usually like resemble real life, you know, and like this is a thriller book, it's not like a fantasy, you know, so like I do think it's important to see like accurate mental illness representations in books. But that's just me. But yeah, so I think we're going to end on this note. We're like 50 minutes in.
Wow, where did time go?
Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone who joined in reading this month and who, you know, joined us in this live show and hung out for a bit. It's been a really awesome time. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much to my mom and my sister for joining. It was so fun.
This was fun. I need to.
So
learn
yeah.
more.
No, Mom, you're fine. Jeez. All right. So thank you so much for joining, and we will see you very soon. Next time. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye. Peace out.